Hi everyone, SB here. So today's the day I'm finally going to do a tutorial solve on the Dayan Professor Skewb. There's not a lot of tutorials out there for this puzzle, and I tell you what, I actually learned it the hard way. But I promised to sort of clear that all up in this video. So basically, a Dayan Professor Skewb is just the next stage up from the Dayan Master Skewb. So this is sort of like the 4x4 version, and then this is the 5x5 version, and then you've just got your normal Skewb, just normal version. We'll say 3x3 in this case. So basically, this puzzle here, like I said, these Dayan Skewbs, or these Dayan larger sort of order Skewbs, are sort of different. They're not really Skewb puzzles. The variants of Skewb puzzles. The way these are different is just because they've got different cuts in them. Than just your elite Skewb, which is similar to this, but it's got a different cut sort of movement. There's a Land Master Skewb, which another Master Skewb, which has different cuts as well. So basically, those Skewbs, I guess, they're more Skewb puzzles. These ones are sort of Skewb variants. But however, there's a thing about when solving the Professor Skewb. On the Master Skewb, we reduce it to a Skewb, and we solve it like a Skewb. But however, on the Professor's Skewb, we don't reduce it to a Skewb. We actually reduce it to a Dino puzzle, and that makes it a lot more kind of different to this. So it's kind of different to solving this puzzle here than it is solving this puzzle. Yeah, so that's just want to clear that up. So you basically got your Skewb family, or I guess this Skewb. So you got your normal Skewb here, you got your Dayan Master Skewb, and then you got your Dayan Professor's Skewb. I'm guessing that the Land Master Skewb is probably the next one up from this, and the Elite Skewb is the next one up from there. But these are the Dayan puzzles, which are a lot different. Now I'm going to try and avoid as much pops as possible. And there's a way of how to do that. It's basically just turning the puzzle really carefully, because this puzzle is very poppable, and it's it's not that great to turn. So I'm going to take it very easy. It's not going to really be any speed movements or anything. It's just going to be a simple, just carefully sort of turning it. And there's sort of like there's a method, or there's a technique I do when I'm turning this puzzle. It's not really a technique, it's just the way I hold it. But yeah, so basically it's quite easy to follow along. It's basically just looking at what I'm doing, and just Skewb movements I'm doing most of the time, and then just a bit of Dino moves in that. But they're quite easy to remember. There's no real hard algorithms on this. Now what I mean by reducing this to a Dino is that these tips, or these sort of Dino moves, can turn like that. So basically be reducing these parts. So if we turn these back here, turn these back, and then turn this back, and then turn this one back, you see how we've got these reduced, and then we've got these reduced. It's similar to it's basically a Dino puzzle, because when we're actually solving these are just your Dino corners, but we're not really focusing on these ones. But it's important to get these ones in the right place, and to get them kind of correct, because if you kind of solve the puzzle and these are sort of in the wrong place, then it's not really going to be a fun time. So basically that's basically the method of solving this. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a scramble, and luckily I hope I don't get any pops. So I'll come back when the puzzle is scrambled. Alright, so we've carefully scrambled the puzzle. I'm just going to go over the sort of turning techniques that I do. When I'm turning this puzzle, I don't really hold it on the table and turn it. What I actually do is I actually pick the puzzle up, grab it with my whole hand, And if I'm turning one of these, hold these parts here as tight as I can, and I can turn these parts really easily. And if I was to go to this one, I'll just go like that, and just sort of basically hold, see my hands are around the back here, and I'm turning the puzzle like this. And I'm basically cupping this in my whole hand, and sometimes I'm also turning it like that. Now this does minimize pops a little bit, but some pieces do tend to come out still, but it's not too bad. If I'm doing skewb movements, I want to hold it like that. So I'm holding this bottom, my hand on the bottom half, and what I'm doing is I'm grabbing, like this, and I'm basically turning it. So if I was to turn it up, I'll go like, I just sort of slowly turn it. So there's your skewb movement there. Now we grab this side, and we do the same thing. We just give it a wiggle first, give it a turn like that. So it's basically the technique of how I'm turning. I don't really hold it on the table when I'm turning, because I know that if I don't have these other parts sort of secure, then pieces will tend to fly out. That's how I basically sort of turn this puzzle. So the first thing we want to do is you want to get these tips here, you just want to fix them so they are correct on all the sides. Orange and blue. You don't have to worry about with these ones, you don't have to hold the puzzle because it's just the tips you're turning. Yeah, okay, so that's all of them there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to solve this like a skewb, just to get these corners in the right place. So these, basically we're going to reduce these corners here first. What I mean by that is, so we want to get all the white, so these white pieces here, don't worry about these ones, but we're going to get all these white pieces on this side. So we're basically technically going to solve it like a skewb. This white here, we can turn it up. Now, like on a skewb, we can't really do that. We can't really turn. On the professor's one, we can actually just turn it. So we grab the whole puzzle like that, and we just give it a turn. And we have the white with the white. Now, we want to look for white and orange. This is white and orange, luckily. So what we can do is grab this side and just twist it. And now these two are in place. And keep going around. So now we're looking for the white and green to go there. So where's the white and green? Okay, so it's here. Now we want it to go in here. So we just do a skewb movement. So we can just turn this dino move like that. And then we can turn the white, so we can skewb it. So when we do the skewb move, we're going to hold this half with our whole hand and this half with our whole hand. And just, this is going to be a long tutorial, but sometimes you might have to turn the other way. But you make that turn, and then this white goes on here, this white and green. The white and red is already there, so we just turn the white and red on that side. And now we have these white on the top. These are your reds, this is your red side, this is your the green side, this is your orange, and this is your blue. So the next step is we want to get, so opposite white is yellow. So we want to get all the yellow, these pieces, we're going to get all these yellow sort of pieces, corner pieces on here, on the top. So what we're going to do is see this yellow here, we just turn it up, and we just hold the puzzle and turn it up. We got that there. And where's the other one? Okay, so it's here, so we just turn this dino move and bring it to the top, and then where's the other one? Okay, so it's there. Okay, and now once that's in, we've solved this yellow here, but we want to get the yellow center in. So like on skewb, we've got this case, so we've got this yellow that needs to go in there. So we hold this yellow on the back, hold it like this. So now this yellow's on the back here. We want to turn it like that. And once we've got the yellow here, yellow's back there like that, we're going to do a sledgehammer. It's just like what we do on skewb. So we do a sledgehammer. So technically this is just like a skewb solve, nothing different. Okay, so now once we've done that, we just go 1, 2, and then we do the same thing on this side. A sledgehammer, and then we've got this yellow center on the top. And now what we've got here is a U-perm, because we've got this, and like I said before, we're just focusing on these blue sides here. So we just focus on that and these 4 around. Now it looks like here we've got a U-perm, so we've got this, this, and this. So what we've got to do is we do the U-perm, which is just your general Skewb U-perm. So you just hold it like this, so that the opposite color is facing towards you, and the solved center is facing on sort of the left side. So when you have the opposite on here, you just do a sledgehammer on this side. Make sure it doesn't pop. There you go. Okay, we've done the sledgehammer. Now we go 1, 2, sledgehammer again. And we have solved all of these pieces here, all these sort of corners here, with all these centers, all the corresponding centers on each side. So that's what we want to do first. Now the second step is to get these pieces in. So we're going to basically build sort of like X's on this side. So we put in this piece and this piece. So this will be orange, this will be orange, and this will be orange. We'll have a line there, and we'll have a line there. Same thing here will be green. So 2 greens here, 2 greens here. And so basically just be an X on every side. So we just pick one color, so we'll go for white. We want to look for pieces that are these edge sort of pieces here, these center edge pieces. So if we look around, and we want to basically utilize them so we can Skewb them into the white side, or Skewbing into the corner. So if you notice this white one here, if we Skewb it, it will go into this direction, because if we Skewb this into here, it will touch the white. Okay, now what we've got to do is every time we Skewb it, we've got to Skewb it back, because we don't want to screw up any of what we've done on these corners here. So we've chosen our white piece, we need to find out where it needs to go. So it's, when we Skewb it, it's going to go in this direction, which will go to this corner. So we Skewb it, the white's matched up. Now we turn the tip that way to get it out of the way. Now we can Skewb back, bring it back, and now we can turn that back, and now that's in place. So we're just going to do the same for this one. So where's our other white center edge? Okay, so it's here. Now in this situation, it's on the corner, but it's on the wrong side, because this here needs to go to the orange, so it needs to go to the white. So what we can do is we can Skewb it down from here, turn the dyno move this way, Skewb it back, which will solve that white, and turn it onto the white. So now we've basically got this full on X going on here. And so once we've got these, we've reduced, sorry, we've sort of reduced these, we're going to bring in these pieces here. So these pieces in here, like that, around the side. And like I said, there's 2 ways you can get them in. Sometimes they can be on the same corner, or they can just be on any other place. To get these ones in, we choose a green center edge, which is this one. Now we need to find which way it will Skewb. So if we Skewb it down, it's going to go in this direction. So it's going to go towards this corner here. The green side on this corner is over here. So if we Skewb this green down, it's going to go in this direction. So we need to have, okay, we've got a pop, which is unfortunate. So there we go. All right. So let's go back. All right. So we know it will Skewb down like that. Basically want that green to be in that position. So all we've got to do is turn the green to that position there. So we turn the dyno, move that way. We Skewb it in. We reset that back. So we hold this whole part here, turn it, and then we Skewb it back. And we've basically inserted that green piece there. And so we keep going along, and now we find this other green over here. So what we could do to get it into here, we notice that it will skewb down in this direction. Now it will automatically go to the green because the green's already there. But if it wasn't, then we'll just set it up so that, say, if that was the green, we'll set it up like that. And if that was the green, we'll slice it in and then redo that. But at this in this point of time, the green's already there. So what we could do is skewb it in. And now we don't want to bring the white on this side because it's going to mess up that white when we skewb, because remember we've got to skewb back. We don't want to leave it skewbed this way because it's kind of messing everything up. So we want to bring it to the orange side here. And then once we've got that in place, we can skewb it back to where it was. And then we can bring this back. And now I've inserted these two greens here. So we keep going along, and we're going to insert just, we've got this red one inserted, we just want to insert this red one over here. So if we look around, we notice that this red, if we skewb it, it will go towards this corner here, which is what we want, for this one. So we want to skewb it that way, and then once we know that's the corner we want to use, because this is the one that that needs to be placed. What we've got to do is set it up so that when you skewb this down, the red will be here. So we've got to turn the red to this side now. We want to skewb it in with this red. So that's in. We want to turn it back, and we want to move it up. Now that's kind of bringing my green out, so I'm going to have to, what I'm going to do to fix that, so I'm going to just redo what I did, sorry. So if I was to skewb this in, I'm going to have to bring the red over to here or to here. So what I could do is I could turn this red to here. Now I can skewb this position, I can skewb it up to here. So I can skewb this, it's going to pop that in, but I'm just going to hold it and skewb up. Okay, so we're going to bring this position and we're going to bring it to here. So I'm going to bring it to there. Now this red can skewb in, also I can move in like that. And now we can skewb back and it will match up with that red. And so now we've got this whole dino sort of corner with these pieces in. So now we've got to turn it to the right side, and we've now inserted those two reds. And now we've just got this blue one to insert. So we look around. Now, as we notice, this one can skewb in. So we know that this one here, if we turn it this way and we skewb it, it will go towards that corner, which is what we want to put that in like that. But we don't want to do that because the red will be in the way. So we've got to turn this to here. Now, like I said before, if we skewb it in, we can't bring it back because we're going to bring the red out again. So like I said before, we're going to bring it to this side. We're going to skewb it up, bring this to that side, and we can skewb it back, and we've solved that. And now we can turn that to the right side, and we've inserted that blue piece. So now we've inserted these sort of pieces. We've got green, red, blue, and orange. And so now we're going to solve these pieces. We solve these sort of pieces around here on these corners here. So the way we're going to go about this is the same thing. So we look around. Okay, so there's a red piece here. Now we notice that it will skewb from this direction, because we know that this yellow, if we skewb, it will go to that red. So we want to insert, so we want to skewb it up, put the red in. So we want to skewb it up, put the red in, hold it tight so it doesn't pop, and then bring the red back. And now this red is placed. We're just going to get this red one in. We look around for the last one. Okay, so it's over here. Now it will skewb in like this. So as you can see, it's over here. We can skewb it in. It will match up with that. So Skewb it in like that. Turn this out of the way so we don't want to bring the yellow in, we want to turn the green, because this one's not done, so we're going to turn this into the position and we can skewb back like that. What that's done is it's placed this one and it's placed this one, so we can turn it like that and it's solved these two here. So we're going to do the same for these ones. So here's your green here, it will skewb in like that. Now, like before, if we skewb it in, we turn it to the other one, it's going to move this one out. Move it this way first, like that. Skewb it up. So you want to just move it up carefully. The green can move in there, so we grab this whole side here, turn it, and bring this in. And now we've got that in. We're going to get this one. Now this one is actually already in, so we can just turn it like that, and now that's in. So we've got these two, and now we want to get, okay, so we've got this orange done. We want to turn it like this. Now, see how this orange is in, and then you've got these two and these two that are out. There's a trick that you can do. So if you hold them like this, so that these two are basically going to switch places with each other. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn this blue, you're going to turn it to this side here. So you can turn it to this side like that, and you're going to turn this blue here like that. Now, as you can see, this blue is down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to skewb this blue up to here. So we're going to skewb it into here like that. Now we're going to turn it back. So we're going to turn this around so that the yellow comes to here. Now when we skewb back, the yellow will come back. So we're going to do that dino move there. When we skewb back, this yellow is going to go into there like that, and then just reset that there like that. So now, as you can see, we'll swap those two. Now we flip it over and do the same thing. So we're going to swap these two. So now what we're going to do is see this yellow, we want to turn it to this side. So we turn the yellow to that side. This yellow here, we want to turn it down. So now it's down here. Now we want to skewb it. The yellow goes into the yellow. So I want to skewb that. So now that yellow's in. Now we can skewb it. So we want to turn it. We skewb back. This blue is going to come back. So we want this blue to be here now. So we turn the blue to there. Now we skewb back. And that gets that. And we reset that. And now we have all of these sides with X's on it. But there's another case I must show you before we move on. Okay, so as you can see, if you get a point to the point where you've got all the pieces on the same corner, but you don't get that first case with the two of them that are sort of in one solved, and you've got three that are out, then basically this case will be able to fix it. Similar to the other one. So what we're going to do, I'll make sure that this is, or it can be around anyway, doesn't matter, but in this case we'll just have it like this. So what we're going to do is to fix these three, to move these three around, we're going to bring this and we're going to skewb it up. Now we notice that this is the red. So what we're going to do is we're going to skewb the red up. Now we want to solve the red. So where's the red on this? Okay, so the red's here. So we want to skewb back. The red is going to come back, right? So we want to move this to this side, like that. And then when we skewb back, we can skewb back like that, the red comes back. Okay, now we want to turn the reds to this side, and we want to solve this one. So what we're going to do is see how this is yellow. We're going to skewb the yellow out, so up. So we always skewb up for this case. So we always skewb the yellow up. And now as you can see, the green down here is going to come up to match with the green here. So now once that green's done, you want to turn the green to this side. And then when we scoop back, the yellow will come back and it will go into the yellow, and this whole corner will be solved.